right. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while and I know I have been definitely inconsistent here on YouTube. And I do apologize for that, but life has definitely been lifing for me. Um, I'll start off by letting you guys know that back in January, I did end up losing my husband. Um, yes, and so I have been kind of dealing with that for a little bit. And now I've decided to turn the camera back on because I feel like it will help me, and also may help someone else at this point because I found help through other people and them sharing what they went through with even with losing spouses, with losing jobs, with starting over at certain ages, all those things. I find those type of conversations that people have beneficial to me. So I feel like I guess I have a story that um, that I need to share. I need to share with people what I've experienced, what I'm going through, how I'm now navigating my new life, and yeah, and so I just figured I would pick the camera up and just see, how, you know, my puppy's outside. I need to go let him in, but I figure I need to. This may not only be beneficial to someone else, but like I said, beneficial to me because it'll give me a chance to kind of talk through some of my emotions, talk through some of the things that I'm experiencing, and maybe get like feedback from other people that may be helpful to me. Because one thing about it is when you lose your spouse, you definitely feel like you are alone. Like, even if you have children, you still feel alone because that person was your person. You know, that was your person. That was your confidant. That was the person that you shared everything with. And so it's difficult to live, I'm not even, I don't want to say live because that may be, it's difficult to, um, I guess, it's difficult moving forward without that. And you have to figure out how to move forward. So, yeah, so I just felt like maybe this would be a good time for me to return to YouTube, a good opportunity for me to um, maybe develop a support system from people that sincerely understand what I'm going through, what I've gone through, and can offer, some encouragement in a sense. Like, I'm not looking for someone to give me advice on how I should do this or how I should do that, but just mainly just having, people to support you. While I have family that supports me, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like this is a different space. This is a space that I created for me, and I feel like maybe returning to this space might be good for me at this point in my life. Um, because not only did I lose my husband, I also just lost my job on yesterday. Um, I've been working in corporate nursing for just right at 4 years now. And while I enjoyed what I was doing, I was always kind of, I guess, I always kind of knew that this day could come. I was determined that I was not going to quit when things got difficult because it was a difficult position. It was a lot of things that I didn't like, about the corporate aspect of it, but my job in itself I loved. And so, you get those times where you get frustrated and you feel like, oh gosh, I'm just gonna look for something else. I'm just, this is not for me anymore or whatever. But I stayed because like I said, I loved my position. I enjoyed um, the opportunity to work remote because I had never did that before. So I was working remote and that was awesome. And the pay, like my salary, yeah, sorry, cannot say anything negative about that. But yeah, so I always said, well, me and, a few of my friends worked there. And, one of the things we would talk about was that, we they did a layoff every year and all of us came from acute care, and so it was like that was something that was new to us. So it was like um, it was always difficult every because they did it annually. I think one year they may have did it twice, but it was like something that we weren't accustomed to, and so it was just a weird space to see people being laid off and knowing that you could be, next in line at any point. And so we would always say that we wouldn't quit, that we would let them, lay us off. Worst case scenario. Well, I got laid off yesterday and it feels weird. It's, I wanted to say it was embarrassing, but why? It's life. I didn't get laid off. I didn't get fired, and I didn't get laid off because I was a poor employee. Because if that's the case, they just would have terminated me. I never had any write-ups. I never been in any disciplinary situations with my job or anything like that. My performance reviews were always good. The last one, I got a nice raise. So there was really nothing that I had did that would have led to me being one of the individuals that was laid off, if that makes sense. So with that, I mean, I don't want to beat myself up about it because it's kind of the luck of the draw, I guess, in a sense. I guess. I don't know. I kind of feel like, too, it could have been because I took FMLA, after my husband passed because I needed time. Like I needed time. I mentally was not there for the first couple of months. I wasn't. And I needed that time. And I feel like maybe that's kind of what led to me being one of the ones. I don't know. But either way, it's neither here nor there. I've got to pivot. I've got to figure out my next move now. Because not only was I dealing with the changes, that came with my life of no longer having my husband, now I'm having to deal with the changes that come with having to find a new position somewhere. What is the position going to look like? Because I need to, or at least want to be making the type of money I was making there. And while we do get a severance pay, it's still, I still only have, a certain amount of time before I have to get back out there and get a job. So it's a lot right now, but I'm not gonna let it defeat me. I stay in prayer for sure, and I think you need that when you're going through. Well, you need it, period, in your life, but when you're going through, you especially need to be in prayer. And so I know that God's got me. I know that, but it's still difficult. if I said it wasn't. So, but yeah, it is what it is. You know, I know that this is reality. This is life. This too shall pass. And yeah, but anyway, I wanted to come on and just kind of let you guys know that that's the current state of your girl. And I plan to bring you guys along my journey, share with you guys some of the things that I've experienced, things that may be helpful to someone else who's lost a spouse, or just things that you may need to know just in case, you know. I just want to kind of share with you guys some of the things that I've gone through, maybe bring you guys along and see, you know, where my life takes me from this point, because yeah, we're figuring it out as we go now. I'm one of those people, women, that I love. I love having my person, and not having my person anymore is very difficult for me. Being in a sense alone. I'm not alone because I do have my family and I have my children, and I'm not gonna say I'm alone because I do have people, but I'm alone in that I have to make decisions for myself without that person to bounce those ideas off of, without that person to say, no, Kima, don't do that, or no, Kima, you know. I don't have that, you know, person that I trust to that extent anymore, and that's difficult. And I always was the type that wanted to be married and happily married, and that's just me. I've always wanted that. So to no longer have that is difficult for me. So I figure I'm going to use this space, you know, to kind of help me, I guess, navigate through what I'm going through, navigate through my experiences, be a space for me to share my thoughts and my experiences, and maybe it will be beneficial to someone else. So yeah, that's kind of what it is. That's what I'm coming back for. I want to do a video to kind of share with you guys some special memories with my husband, because he used to, you know, be on the channel. And not a lot. He didn't like to be, you know, recorded or whatever. It wasn't his thing, but sometimes he would, you know, let me put the camera on him for a little bit or whatever. So maybe I can share some of those special moments with you guys that we shared, and you know, just maybe put a video together. That's one of the things I want to do at some points, put a video together and share those moments, as a nice memory for me as well. But yeah, so that's what it is. I'm back, and I plan to post regular. I plan to see if I want to reestablish my skincare line or whatever. I don't know. It was good, and I hate to just let it. It's been laying dormant since I've been working this job, because I was so focused on it. And so I just allowed my business to just kind of, you know, just go silent, just fade away into the background. This is the background. Those two shelves, one over there. stuff over there. I have, my business was doing very well, but I want to see, my husband wanted me to get focused back on that. And so that's one of the things I want to do. Yeah, and so hopefully, maybe with this time, because, they do give us severance pay when you're laid off from a corporate position, or at least my corporate position, they do, give you a severance. So I do have time to figure out my next step, my next move. And in that time, I want to see if, should I go back into making my products again? Is this YouTube I'm just gonna post on YouTube, and hopefully I can get feedback from, people, positive feedback that may help me, as well. I don't want to go back into travel nursing, but I will if I have to, because it does offer some level of freedom. You can do your assignment and take off for a little bit if you want, things like that. I don't know. I mean, I am over 50 now, so I don't know if I really want to do that. Or if I want to go back into just finding another remote position. If I do, I think this time I just want it to be part-time if possible. I don't know that I even want it to be full-time, because I do want to invest in me now. I do feel like it's time. I don't have all of this stuff for no reason. I need to do something with it. And yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. There are a lot of things for me to figure out, a lot of things that I'm figuring out, a lot of things I still need to do. Yeah, so I want to, bring you guys along, and hopefully you'll get something out of it. You'll enjoy, I guess, seeing how I navigate this new chapter in my life, and yeah, and we're going to go from there. But anyway, that's kind of what it is, and that's where we are now, but I'm okay. Some days, are still difficult, but for the most part, I'm trusting God. I'm putting God first in everything I do. I'm staying prayed up and trying to keep anyone with ill intentions away from me, or negativity away from me. I'm just trying to learn how to be just me now. I'm one of those women that have always loved love. I always loved having a companion, a relationship. I always loved having that person for me, And so this is really, really, really a challenge for me to now, be alone and with no intentions in, gravitating to anyone else or anything, because he was my person. He was my person. So, yeah, that I'm not looking to ever try to, put anyone else in that position. So this is my time to figure how to be alone and okay with being alone, and how to be okay with figuring things out by myself and not having him to, give his opinion or offer his advice and things like that. It's just me now. So I've got to figure it out, Yeah. And my children have their own lives to figure out. So I'm not the type that wants to insert myself into them like that. I know they have my back. But that's what I want, them just to have my back. But I've got to have me, and my husband still has me. You know, I still know that I can talk to him. It's just, it's just a different relationship now. Um, yeah, so that's it. That's where we are. I just wanted to give you guys a little, I guess, introduction into our new direction for the channel. And I'll be bringing you guys along with me in my daily life as I do things. Yeah, my experiences, things, trying to find a new position, trying to get my business up and going again. Things like when you have to get stuff fixed on a car and you're by yourself, honey, all that stuff is, oh, it's been challenging. I have to call my brother and stuff, and then, yeah, luckily I do have some people I can, call if I need, but honey, you don't know, yeah, I really miss him being able to handle those things, and I know it was frustrating for him at times too, but I do miss him handling those things, but God's got me, so we're going to get through it. And yeah, I hope you guys stick around, and maybe I can help someone else through their journey of trying to figure things out after a loss, or even without, experiencing, even if you've not experienced that, you just may be feeling alone or whatever. So yeah, we'll try to do this thing together, and yeah, I hope I can be of some support to someone, and maybe you guys can be of support to me. But anywho, let me get off of here because I feel like I'm gonna start rambling, but I've got to go now because I've got to go. I got an eye appointment, and I'm thinking I want to stop and get me some Dave's hot chicken. You guys if you used to watch my channel, my earlier videos, a lot of that was eating and doing my hair. So I'm trying to lose weight. I'm still working on losing weight, but I do still grab me something that that I probably shouldn't be eating. But I've been trying to fast and just eat once a day. And so I don't know if today's going to be my Dave's hot. I'm not getting like a whole meal from Dave's hot chicken, but those mozzarella sticks, honey, they so good. I'm thinking about getting some for later because I plan not to eat until about 6. But anyway, I got to go to the eye doctor, and yeah, I may go pick up some Dave's hot chicken and then go by and see my mom, and I think that'll be it for today. I don't know that I'll be able to bring you guys with me today because I see that my battery's about to die, but I will start bringing you guys along as I run my errands and do things like that, and just see if it interests you. I'll try to make my videos a little more entertaining if possible, but excuse me. But anywho, I hope you guys stick around, and yeah, stick around and see where this next chapter of my life takes me.